However, I am talking about the adrenaline that is in circuit. So the adrenaline is a medicine which is from belonging from the circuit, and most of the time this medicine is usually adrenaline from the adrenal gland, and it is a very important suprarenal gland, extract from the suprarenal gland, and it is very important medicine for the functions of all the glands which are responsible for the secretion of various types of enzymes, various types of other secretions, and other things. Even it is also very important medicine for the cases of the both the mental and physical general symptoms of the body. So mostly देखा गया, this is a medicine which is mostly they are the very despondent mentally, they are the very despondent, they are the very nervous temperament, and there are some irregularities are to be found in case of the adrenaline. There is the lack of the interest of anything. Usually suprarenal gland ka suprarenal bodies, extract of the suprarenal bodies, adrenal gland, which is very important for the not only the urinary organs but other hormones, even the mental symptoms also within this domain. And no, it is a very important medicine for the cases of the persons who have no lack, there is the no interest in it about anything, and especially no ambitions. इसलिए जो लोगों का एम्बिशन है ये लोगों के लिए, और जिसके लोगों को कोई चीज़ में इंटरेस्ट नहीं, वो लोगों के लिए हम कम से कम एड्रेनालिन के बारे में हम सोच सकते हैं. इवन सबसे बड़ी बात है द पर्सन्स आर देयर इज द नो इंक्लाइनेशन टू द एनी मेंटल और वर्क. ये लोगों कोई काम करना नहीं पसंद करते, हमेशा रिटायर्ड रेस्टलेसनेस कंडीशन, और दोज हु आर ऑलवेज रिमेन इन द साइलेंट, or those who are always in they keeps themselves in silent form. Most of the time these people are usually inclined to the mental symptoms, and they belong to the adrenal gland. Even absence of the grit, ये लोगों को कोई इच्छा शक्ति नहीं है, कोई जो जोश वो भी नहीं रहते. So on the basis of these symptoms, mental symptoms, those who have no lack, there is no desire to do work, or lack of interest in anything, or ambition less, or disinclination to do anything, or disinclination to mental work, ऐसे कोई जगह में symptoms मिलते हैं. कोई लोगों का इच्छा शक्ति नहीं, ambition less, हम कम से कम एड्रेनालिन हम दे सकते हैं. ठीक है ना, ये भी बहुत बड़ी बात है. यूजुअली देखो nowadays आफ्टर द कोरोना बहुत सारी मेंटल डिजीज, मेंटल पेशेंट का इंक्रीज होने लगा. और सबसे बड़ी बात है जो मेंटल कंडीशन सब लोगों का स्टेबल नहीं है, कहीं पे हाइपर, कहीं यहाँ हाइपो, कहीं डिप्रेशन, कहीं एक्साइटमेंट. These are things is happening especially after the lockdown, because of there is anxiety, fear of future, and fear of agony, worries, anxiety. These are also predominant in the nowadays, in the society nowadays. So all are anxious, they are worried about the future, and there is no question of the desire to survive. Even the persons, those who are the under stress and strain, they are under depression, and most of the time the suicidal tendency are also increased nowadays. Even the dispute in the families, that are also increasing day by day, and nowadays those who are the psychiatric, for them it is a good period for them only, and in the future lots of psychiatric patients are will be in the market because of the insecurity. There is no future, or there is most of the time they will see the darkness of there is no question of the understanding between the families and other, or there is there is the lockdown, or even they are sacked from the service, or how don't know how they maintain the family. Even at the same time, Corona is also one of them. They are all snatched their everything, even the relatives, money, service, and everything. So all the person are under stress and depressed condition. Okay. So however, this is very common nowadays. This type of symptoms are, we can think of that those who are not desire to do any mental work and cannot concentrate in the thought. In that sense, we can think of this adrenaline. If we see the physical general symptoms, then we will see prolonged contraction of the general muscular system. So contraction of the general muscular system. This is also very important symptoms of that. देखो cuprum, in case of the cuprum metallicum, in case of the magphos, we will think about it. Sternum metallicum, we will find it. There is a contraction of the muscular system. Repeated injection causes atheroma and heart lesions in animals. Even कभी-कभी देखा गया ये repeated injection कोई particular जगह में atheroma, tumor, blood tumor or some other tumor is also possible in the place, and at the same time the heart lesions in animal. Heart का problem भी देख लेते हैं. The lesion even सबसे बड़ी बात है या adrenaline में the skin becomes a bronze color. This is also another sign symptoms of the adrenaline secretion, adrenaline patient. Usually the copper colored we'll find it in case of the syphilinum. Okay, so if any skin is or any skin eruption is copper color, we can think of that is the syphilinum. Even if we think about the skin become the bronze color, we can think of the adrenaline. Next, now the great loss of the strength is there, rapid emaciation and exceedingly rapid pulse, irregular intermittent heartbeats, and general marked anemia. General marked anemia is also one of the very important symptoms. Irregular intermittent heartbeat. Irregular intermittent heartbeat. These are very important symptoms of these drugs. The skin become exceedingly rapid pulse. देखो ना कभी-कभी हम लोग देखते हैं where suppose you are going to buy bicycles or the scooter, कोई कुत्ता के पीछे लगा और कोई डर गया तो हमारा adrenaline secretion ज़्यादा हो जाती है. As a result of whenever this adrenaline secretion travels into the blood and throughout the whole body, then what will happen? Now the blood pressure will be increased, there will be the sweating, there will be the anxiety, even there is the heartbeat is there, even irregular intermittent pulses will be there. And there is suddenly change in the whole system, and the person's, there is the sweating is there, and there is worries, anxiety, palpitation. These symptoms are very prominent in case of the suddenness. Okay. Another thing is the head. So if we see the head, there is the headache from the left side extending to the left. It is also one of the headache from the left side, go to the right, aggravation by reading in the morning, and with a feeling as though the eyes are strained. So however, headache, aggravation in the reading, after reading and in the morning. After reading aggravation, pass concomitation, Naruta, calcula force, natrium mule. These are the main symptoms. Auric meditation, that is the physostigma. Okay. So, exceedingly rapid, with a feeling of thought as if eyes were strained. Senses as if eyes were strained. Okay. Frontal headache, supraorbital headache, and with congested nose and eyes. These are also very important. Congested eyes and nose. Burning heat in the head, feeling as though burning in the head, feeling as though he wanted to open the eyes wide open. So head burning and feeling of though he wanted to open the eyes wide. Next number, headache extending all over the head, but aggravation on the left side and over eyes cross the forehead. This is most of the time the headache from the left to right is very characteristic symptoms of the drug. Severe pain, ammunition by pressure of the eyes. Headache, which is ammunition by pressure on the eye. हमारा पास natrium भी है, rota है. These are the very important symptoms. Even the brown eye, which is ammunition by pressure. The headache extending to all ears, all headache aggravation in the afternoon and evening. Usually, so whenever after giving much stress and strain, if there is a headache aggravation in the evening, हमारे पास सब मेडिसिन है, ब्रायोनिया, कोलोशीन aggravation देखो, evening aggravation, lycopodium, these are the medicine where there is aggravation in the evening and so on. So headache extending all over the body, head, but aggravation on left side and over the eyes across forehead, severe pain, abdominal by pressure on the eyes, and the headache extending to the ears, and headache aggravation in the afternoon and evening. In the evening, they appear after 7 p.m. So, headache usually after 7 p.m. 4 to 8 p.m. lycopodium का है. Colosine का भी कुछ symptoms है, which is aggravation in the evening, and mostly and last until relieved by the walking in the open air and the sleep. Even कोई जगह में pulsatile का बारे में भी लिखा है. Headache presents the evening and relieved by the tight bandage, going to the open air and sleep. So sleep amelioration, so many drugs are there. Even the pulsatile is there. We can think of the pulsatile in that sense. Okay. Next number. Headache appears in the evening and afternoon. The time is 3 p.m. Usually, most of the time 3 p.m. aggravation. हमारे पास और मेडिसिन है. That is the Apis mellifica, Thuja. These are also having particular time 3 a.m. 3 p.m. like this. Is always ammunition by walking in the open air and somewhat reduced by eating and sleeping, but not so completely as by walk in the open air. So what relieved by eating and sleeping is also important symptom. Relieved by eating and sleeping, but not so completely as by walking in the open air. आजकल open air में उसका आराम मिलता नहीं. Next number, neuralgic headache. Pain starts from the base of the brain. Neuralgic headache. So base of the brain go forward over the head to front and sides. Pains are first shooting and seems to be just under the scalp. So from the occiput to forehead, and the pain shoots upward, and that is the settles in the just under the scalp. Even appear at 11 a.m. and last until 4 p.m. ये भी एक बात है. So 11 a.m. देखो in case of the nighttime, it is usually mostly nighttime or aggravation headache starts from the 9 to 11. Even mostly 9 to 11, 12 like this, and the last until 3 to 4 p.m. or the sunset. ऐसे ही उसमें लिखा है. Even the disappear by eating. And in open air, aggravation close and warm room, close and warm room and closed room में इसका aggravation है. So eating amelioration और एक medicine है. So eating amelioration, which is the best medicine? Eating amelioration, another the natrium, another the iodium, another the anacardium. So they are all there, even the C9 also there. So amelioration by eating is also very important symptoms of headache and neuralgic pain. That is the very characteristic symptoms of these drugs. That is the adrenaline. Next number देखो जी, dull aching in the eyeballs with headache, amelioration by pressure and rubbing the eyes. So headache which is relieved by pressure and rubbing the eyes is also very important. Rubbing the eyes. Okay. Another the headache is also coming on in 11 a.m. lasting until 12 to 12:30 at night. Amelioration by eating, very uncommon symptoms of the adrenaline. So in case of the adrenaline, this is very uncommon particular symptoms of the adrenaline. All the complaints, especially headache and neuralgic pain, usual aggravation from 11 to 12 a.m. and goes up to the night, 12 p.m. or 12:30 night. Amelioration by eating, dull feeling in the head from 3 to 6 p.m. or something. Usually headache, if it comes from between the 3 to 6 p.m., we can think of the adrenaline. Okay, so adrenaline is a very important symptoms in case of the headache due to the certain such feeling. Eye strained feeling, congested, feeling as though he wanted to open them wide or pressure upon them. So eyes feeling strained feeling, congested feeling as though he wanted to open them wide or press them upon them. So आँख को खुला रखना चाहता है, प्रेसिंग करना चाहता है, तो इसके ऊपर अब कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो दिस इज द मेडिसिन. Pain in the right eye, pressure on the eyes and opening them wide, ammunition in the head. So what will find it? Pressure in the eyes and opening them and ammunition by headache. So pressing them may, opening them may, and the headache is ammunition the eyes. So आँख की प्रेशर देने से ओपनिंग प्रेशर से इसका थोड़ा आराम है, and that go to the headache and aching in eyeballs, ammunition pressure and rubbing. So आँख में दर्द है which is relieved by the pressure and rubbing down. That is the uncommon typical symptoms of the drugs. So 3 to रात 12 बजे 3 to 6 PM और 3 to रात 12:30 तक अगर कोई हेडेक है, relieved whiting है, you can think of this drugs. Next one is eyes. Eyes strained, feeling congested, as though he wanted open them wide to pray or press upon them. आँख खुला रखना चाहते हैं, open ले जाना चाहते हैं, pressure देने साधन मिलते. Pain in the right eye, pressure on the eyes and opening the wide, ammunition the head. So आँख opening करने से ammunition the head को ते उसका आराम मिलते हैं. उसके बाद aching in the eyeballs, ammunition में pressure and rubbing. So sometimes there is the pressure of the eyes and aching in genitals, ammunition by pressure and rubbing. Okay, so aching in eyeballs and by ammunition by pressure and rubbing is also there. Ears aching in the left ear accompanies the headache. Sharp pain in both the ears at time. Sharp pain in the ear and both times. Itching and tickling in the right ear. So ammunition by boring into ear with finger. बहुत सारे लोगों को देखोगे जे itching and tingling in the ear, which is relieved by boring into the finger into the ear. कान में लेकर के उन लोगों हमेशा ये जो कौन है ये भी एड्रेनालिन का एक सिम्टम्स है, ठीक है ना. नेक्स्ट nose on going into the cold air, had a copious watery nasal discharge on going to the cold air and had a copious discharge, watery discharge, aggravation on right side. When indoors, the nose feels full and stuffed up. While going on the aggravation right side, when going indoors, घर के अंदर जाने के बाद नाक बंद हो जाता and stop हो जाता and नाक बंद होने से उसका ये हो जाता and he has to go into the open air, which gives them relief. Slight stuffiness in the nose, कभी कभी क्या देखा नाक बंद हो जाते with full feeling at the root of the nose, कभी कभी नाक का अंदर एक प्रकार का full feeling and बंद होने के एक सबसे बड़ी होते हैं. हमारे पास है सैम्बुकास, अब नाक्स भूमिका, नाक्स मॉसेटा, सैम्बुकास. These are the medicine. Strictapal. These are the medicine where there is the obstruction of the nose. Even the leg can be here. Okay. So these are the medicine from me. Next number, nose feels flushed but it is not red. कभी कभी हम देखते क्या ना, there is the flushing of the face. The flushing of the face is also one of the important symptoms of these drugs. So flushing of the face over the head, even flashes of heat over the face and head is very important. Okay, flashes of heat over face and head, and flushed throughout the evening. Flushed throughout the evening is also important. Mouth bad taste on the waking. Mouth bad taste in waking. सुबह उठने के बाद. Tongue coated white, red edges and teeth. Red edges and teeth. So there are so many drugs are there. Rastax is also one of the best medicine. Even mercury is also there. Mark fibers. The surroundings are red. अंदर जो है greenish, grayish white, so and so. Mark dulcish is also there. Mark sol is also there. Grayish, and anterior there is the cleanness. The throat, vocal cord inflamed, laryngeal catarrh, vocal cord inflamed. Now, laryngeal catarrh, profuse secretion from the pharyngeal glands of whitish gelatinous mucus, which was difficult to loosen. Profuse secretion from the pharyngeal gland of whitish gelatinous mucus, which is difficult to loosen. ये जो जगह में gelatinous mucus है, which is difficult to loosen, ये lose होना मुश्किल है. Stomach, there is increased appetite, sensation of nausea, as if you vomit, nausea before meals, though appetite is good when he once began to eat. This is also another very important symptoms of the drugs. So nausea before meals होने के पहले nausea, and though appetite is good when he once began to eat, खाने के पहले उसका भूख लगती है, but appetite increased and ravenous hunger. It is also very important symptoms of the drug. Appetite increased, ravenous hunger, हम convention मेडोनिना सब कुछ खाते हैं. सर्वभूख, ठीक है ना, आयोडियम सर्वभूख, सल्फर सोराइनम सर्वभूख, शीना सर्वभूख, ठीक है. So appetite increased, ravenous hunger, and stools usually loose, brown, semi-solid, passed quickly with fatty odor, sudden spluttering diarrhea, all over the mind, followed by with a burning in the nose. And how do we find it? The sudden spluttering diarrhea, हमारा प्रोटोंटिंग है, नट्टम सल्फे, ओलिएंडर है, स्प्लटिंग, नट्टम सल्फे, स्प्लटरिंग डायरिया, प्रोटोंटिंग है, ठीक है ना, स्प्लटरिंग डायरिया, और sudden spluttering diarrhea all over the minute, followed with burning in anus. These all medicine have this type. Even sulfur भी है, thuja भी है, spluttering diarrhea early in the morning with burning sensation. Okay. Next number is the एपिस में भी है थोड़ा spluttering. Urine is strong odor, hot and scalding. Urine strong odor, hot and scalding. Frequent profuse skin is urine and become the pale urine. So hot urine, pale urine, scalding urine, frequent odor, profuse, pale, burning before and during nutrition. Before and during nutrition, the burning sensation. Crystals of sodium oxalate increased while sediment urate appeared during the morning proving and was very prominent. So crust, no crust. कभी देखते हैं जो crystals of oxalates that are also found and appear during the proving. It has a very prominent but no crust. Hematuria with severe pain in the renal region. Hematuria was bleeding from the urinary organs, but urethra. So sometimes whatever may be, there is the hematuria with severe pain in the renal region, urine more frequent than usual. So male reproductive symptoms is sexual desire increased without erections. It is also another important. So sexual desire is increased without erections. So sexual desire increased without erections. हमारे पास कोनामेटम है, लाइकोपिडियम है, उसके बाद सेलेनियम है, ठीक है ना. These are the medicine handling the excessive sexual desire but without erections. Erections and lascivious dreams all the night causing waking from the sleep. रात भर waking हो जाता है and sleep. Even emissions in early morning without any bad effects. So कभी क्या देखा जाते हैं, emission हो जाता है at night, even the early morning, even without any bad effects. इसलिए और इसका जो सिम्टम्स है मेल रिपोर्टेड में सेक्सुअल डिजायर इज इंक्रीज्ड विदाउट erections, lascivious dreams all night, causing working under the sleep, all night lascivious dreams, causing working from the sleep, emissions in early morning without any bad emissions in early in the morning, emissions without any side effect. But there is any side effect, so many drugs are there. Phosphoric acid also one of the medicine. China is also one of the high there is the pain and backache, severe with loss of vital fluid, with buzzing in the ears, even vertigo, conamacultums which is vertigo after this sexual contact. We can think of these drugs. Next, our respiratory system, the cough from irritation in suprarenal fossa, coughing from irritation in suprarenal fossa is another thing. Next, our index of the respirations. It increases the respirations movement, soon followed by the suffocation and death from the paralysis of medulla and pneumogastric nerves. So there's respiration becomes increased and movement of the respiration also increased, soon followed by the suffocation and death from the paralysis of medulla and pneumogastric nerves. So if there is any destruction, RBC loss, okay, the increased respiration, movement soon followed by the suppression and death from the paralysis of medulla, and the pneumogastric nerves, in case of the pneumogastric nerve, the paralytic of the medulla, ये जानो कोई जैसे का respiratory system disorder है, followed by the suffocation है. You can think of the adrenaline. Next, another pain, back special on the left side, which is very irritating. Better by sitting up straight or lying straight. Pain in left side, better by sitting up straight or lying straight. It is also another symptoms of the drugs. Rheumatic pain in left elbow and left finger on working. Rheumatic pain in left finger and left elbow is as while walking. This is very important symptoms. And upper limbs, painful erections, painful swelling on the first finger of the right hand and resulting in the phelon, painful erections of the first finger of the right hand resulting on the phelons. These are the symptoms of the adrenaline in upper limbs. Then lower limbs are the slightly rheumatic pain coming and going down legs, rheumatic pain coming, going and down legs, bones on the soles, okay, especially on the toes, legs tired and ache, legs and becomes tired and aches, especially in the calves and below the knees. The pain is there, aching is there, and legs are tired and ache, especially in the calves and the below the knees. उस टाइम पैर का देखा पर्टिकुलर डे में पेन है, क्रैम्प्स है, बट इसके में भी स्पेशलिटी भी the women were also fasting and material and so many responsible was in our head at that time can found this words and so on. So especially in the calves and below the knees, ankle, feet weak and tired, arms and legs go to sleep easily, arms and legs go to sleep. कभी कभी ऐसे सो जाते एक्सट्रीमिटी, ये बहुत सोच भी नहीं सकते. Numbness and tingling from the below upwards. Numbness and tingling from below upwards. Tired aching in arms and legs on the walking. Tired aching in the limbs from on walking. Okay, and great sleepiness and this drowsiness is very important symptoms of the adrenaline. Sleepiness and drowsiness is very important symptoms of the adrenaline. Dullness and sleepiness between the 3 to 6 p.m. Dullness and dizziness between the 3 to 6 p.m. So adrenaline we can dekha. These are the very important symptoms. Aggravation from the 3 to 6 p.m. Rheumatic pain, others backache, upper limbs, lower limbs, even the limbs in general, mouth, bad taste on the mouth, tongue coated white and itch, throat. These are the very important symptoms of the pain. Next number. So in general, if we see of the adrenaline, the very characteristic symptoms are there the despondent, dizziness, drowsiness, nervousness, lack of interest in anything, disinclination to mental and physical work, aversion to mental work, cannot concentrate thoughts, physical general prolonged contraction of the general muscular system, repeated injection causes atrophy and heart lesion in animals, the skin becomes bronzed and grit, loss of strength, rapid emaciation, exceedingly rapid pulse, irregular intermittent heartbeats, general marked head, hot headache in the left side, extending to the right, aggravation by bending and in morning with feeling as if though the eyes are strained, frontal headache, burning in the head and other parts, headache extending over the whole head, goes to the left side and then to the right, frontal headache, forehead, severe pain, ammunition by pressure, all headache aggravation in the afternoon and evening, and even they are appear after 7 p.m. is a very important symptoms of the drugs. The headache usually appears between the 3 p.m. always ammunition by walking and in the open air, in somewhat relieved by eating and headache relieved by eating and sleeping, but not so completely as work in the open air. A neuralgic headache, which is also pain start from the base of the brain, goes forwards and open, settles in the frontal bone and in the sides. Pain usual aggravation, scalp appear, shooting pain aggravation, just scalp appear at 11 am and the last until 3 to 4 p.m. So, and disappear by eating and in open air, aggravation in closed room and dull aching pain in the eyeballs with the headache, ammunition by pressure and rubbing, ammunition by pressure and rubbing of the eyes, headache coming at 11 am like the natramu, lasting until 12 to 30 at night, ammunition by itching, very uncommon peculiar symptoms of the headache, especially the time mortalities, ammunition by headache and eating and sleep. Dull feeling at the head from between the 3 to 6 p.m. weekend. Eyes strained feeling, congested feeling, feeling of thoughts, you wanted to open them wide, pressure on them. Pain in the right eye, pressure on the eyes, opening them wide and the head, ammunition by that. Aching in eyeballs, ammunition by pressure and rubbing. Eyeball pain, ammunition by pressure and rubbing. Eyes aching in the ear, accompanying the headache. Sharp pain in the both ears and times. Itching and tingling in the ears and ammunition by boring into the ears with fingers on going out into the cold air, had a copious watery nasal discharge, aggravation from the right side, and when indoors the nose feels full and stuffed now. The slightest stuffiness in the nose, which with full looking feeling, root of the nose is like this, stuffiness. Flashes, hot flashes in the head and not, but there is no question of the red color. Flashes of head over the whole head and the face and head, flashed, usually winning, mouth, bad taste in the ear, walking, tongue becomes coated white and red edges are chief. The vocal cords are either inflamed, laryngeal catarrh, profuse secretion from pharyngeal gland, and whitish gelatinous mucus which was difficult to loosen. Whitish gelatinous mucus usually was difficult to loosen. Stomach appetite increased. Sensation of nausea as if you would vomit. Nausea feeling as if you would vomit. Nausea before meals, though appetite is good when one's willing to eat. So nausea also required eating. Okay. Appetite increased, ravenous hunger, and stools are loose and brown, semi-solid, passed quickly, with fetid odor, sudden spluttering diarrhea, or all over over a minute, followed with burning in the anus, spluttering diarrhea, early in the morning, burning in the anus, and these are very important symptoms. Urine strong odor and hot and scalding urine. Hot and scalding urine like the cantharish, rusticum, like this. So, scalding, frequent profuse pain, burning before and during maturation. Crystals of sodium oxalate increased when sodium urates appear during the proving and was very prominent, no cast. Hematuria with severe pain in the renal region cured. Hematuria with severe pain in the renal region is also cured. Urine more frequent than usual. Male reproductive system. Sexual desire increased without eruption. Sexual desire increased without erections. Erections become lascivious. Dreams all over the night, causing waking from the sleep. Emissions early in the morning without any bad bad effects. So early in the morning emissions without any bad effects is to be told. Respiratory system, cough from meditation, suprasternal fossa, cough from suprasternal fossa. Increased respiratory movements soon followed by the suffocation and death from paralysis of medulla. So respiratory movements followed by suffocation and death from paralysis of medulla and pneumogastric nerve. इसलिए कौन जगह में इस सब इस्तेमाल होता है, that is an art. So pneumogastric nerve को correction है, drugs. Back pain especially on the left side, better by sitting up, straight on lying straight. So back pain relieved on the left side, better on right, sitting up, straight or lying straight. Upper limbs, rheumatic pain in the left elbow and little finger on walking. Little finger and left elbow is very affected by the rheumatic problem. Painful swelling on the left finger, first finger of the right hand, and resulting in phenol's. Alternative symptoms are also found. Some phenol's may cause hamper to particular area, okay, and so on. Slightest, lower limbs, slight rheumatic pain, coming and going, legs down, corns to the toes. हमारे पास और है sarsaparilla, medolina, X-ray, ranunculus bulb. These are for the corns. So corns on the toes, legs tired and aching, especially in the calves and below the knees, rheumatic pain, loin pain, and the legs tired, so and so. Ankles feel weak and tired. Our first ligament silicia is there. Weak ankles. So these are the very important symptoms of these drugs. So if we think about the drugs, we should consider all the backache, extremities and others. That should be considered. Ankles feel weak and tired. Limbs in general, arms and legs go to sleep easily. Arms and legs go to very easily. Numbness and tingling from the below upwards. Tired aching in arms, tired feeling, and from below upwards, tired feeling legs of the walking. Great sleepiness and drowsiness is very important. Great sleepiness and drowsiness is very important. There is the dullness and sleepiness between 3 to 6 p.m. is also very important. Now, These are the very important basic characteristics of the adrenaline. So while prescribing the adrenaline, we think this drugs. Even adrenaline is a very important medicine. Where you find it? These medicines have some lots of characteristic symptoms. These medicines are very useful in case of the various disease condition, especially rheumatic, the mental disease condition, and other factors. And this this medicine have some very peculiar of the modalities between 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Even this medicine has some headache and other symptoms to some extent like that of the natriamide. Okay, natriamide में इसका बहुत सारी symptoms हैं, इसलिए हम natrium के साथ इसका compare कर सकते हैं. They are very easily and very tiredful, easily and become very tired. They don't like to do any type of physical and mental work, and mental work and physical work usually becomes tired. So this is a very important medicine also in case of the number of cases of Addison's disease. So in case of Addison's disease, this is the very important symptoms of these drugs. Their color is the medicine is usually bronze color. Bronze color is a very important symptoms of this skin and the medicines. And there is the wasting a rapid pulse, strength wasting, loss of strength is there, wasting a rapid pulse is also there. It is a most forgetful, most powerful and prompt astringent and hemostatic. It is very important. Astringent and hemostatic is also there. So hemostatic and astringent, and it is individually, it is checked capillary hemorrhage from all parts of the body. So these are the physiological symptoms and pathological symptoms. If we see the physiology and the pathology, we will get it. This type of symptoms is mostly marked in these drugs. Okay. Next, now sensation of thoracic congestion with anguishness. Thoracic congestion with anguishness is very important symptoms of these drugs. So if there is a congestion in this area, the thoracic region with anxiety, vertigo with nausea and vomiting are associated with the above complaint, we can think of the adrenaline. Okay, so if we see from in pathological disease condition, so in general you will find it has some lots of importance. So once if we see in from the body mathematical, so if you listen or if you hear, if we go through the books, you get the knowledge. Don't neglect the adrenaline in case of the capillary bleeding and some other sorts of the disease conditions. So adrenaline or epinephrine, the active principle of the medulla or suprarenal gland is also there. Suprarenal gland are also there. Another thing is that suprarenal gland or cortical secretion is not yet isolated, is employed as a chemical messenger in the regulation of the activity of the body. This medicine is helpful, especially in the activity of the body. In fact, its presence is essential to the activity of the sympathetic nerve. Its presence is necessary for activity of the sympathetic nerves ending into that. Local application so to mucous membrane promptly induces transient ischemia. So ischemia है उसके लिए हेल्पफुल है, सिंस बोले तो पर्टिकुलर एरिया में इसका ब्लड सप्लाई कम होने से इसका प्रॉब्लम डेवलप हो जाते हैं. Since a balance in peristalsis is severe hours from the conjunctival installations, its action is very much prompt, efficient, owing to the rapid oxidation and therefore practically harmless, unless too frequently repeated when atheroma and heart lesions and myocardial in animals have been reported. Arteries, heart, suprarenal bodies and vasomotor system are prominently affected. The main action of the adrenaline is stimulation to the sympathetic endings. Notably, the splanchnic nerves, splanchnic nerves and the sympathetic endings, splanchnic area causing constriction of the peripheral arterioles, resulting in the high blood pressure. Rise in the blood pressure, this is especially observed in stomach. Rise of blood pressure especially in the stomach, intestine, and less uterus. Upper part of the body is mostly affected, lower part is not so much. So, furthermore, it is noticed slowing on the pulse and medullary vagus stimulation, and strengthening the heartbeat is also important, and the myocardial contractility is very important, resembling the digitalis. Increased glandular activity, glycosuria, and depression of respiratory center is also important. Contraction of the muscular tissue of the eye, contraction of the uterus, vagina, relaxation of muscular tissue of stomach, and so on. Its therapeutic use depends on its vasoconstrictions. So it is very important to these drugs. Therefore, most powerful and prompt astringent and hemostatic and invaluable in checking the capillary hemorrhage, the pehli boliye. So, checking the hemorrhage and from all parts where local or direct applicable to the facial, nose, ear, mouth, throat, larynx, stomach, rectum, uterus, bladder, so bleeding from any part of the body. Hemorrhagic condition not due to the defective accumulation of the blood. Complete bloodlessness, ischemia may be induced in impunity. And impunity applied to the, if it is to be applied to the cotton with the help of the 10,000 to 1,000 dilutions. Bloodless operation of the eyes, nose, throat, and larynx, then some remote changes. Congestion of the ethmoid bone and sphenoid sinus also. Hay fever had been markedly elevation by spray of the adrenaline. Kabhi sinus में changes is found 1:5,000 dilution में तो we will find it. So many physiological and pathological conditions. And it is good medicine for the rheumatism, gout, and pain. Sometimes it is applied in case of the as an ointment. This ointment may also helps a lot, and that is the very important. So in case of the rheumatism, along with the nerve trunk, point of skin, nearest its organs which could be reached. So जो रूट प्लेन है, रूट है कोई नर्व्स का, उसमें इसका एक्शन अच्छा रहता है. Therapeutically, adrenaline has been suggested an acute condition of the lungs. So, adrenaline can be used as a medicine in case of the congestion of the lungs, asthma, Graves and Addison's disease, arteriosclerosis, and chronic arthritis, angina pectoris, aortitis, hemophilia, chlorosis, hay fever, sputum rash after the urticaria, and Dr. P.C. Joseph report suggests that treating with homeopathy in cases of angina and aortitis is good medicine for the case of the angina pectoris and aortitis. Okay, subacute and chronic, when adrenaline has been prescribed, paros and in infinitesimal dosage, the symptoms guiding to this sensation of thoracic constriction, weak anguish, tissue vertigo, nausea, and vomiting had been produced by these drugs. Adrenaline pain is also there. Shock or heart failure during the anesthesia. Shock or heart failure during the anesthesia also very important medicine, as it causes very prompt rise to blood pressure by dissection of the nerves endings in small vessels and will increase. If there is a hypodermically, it is to be given hypodermically. 1.5 m 1:1000 solution as chloride dilution in water intermittently 530 of 1:1000 solution. So on account of this affinity oxygen and the drugs easily decomposes watery and the diluent solutions, the solutions must be protected from the air and not by the too frequently repeated of cardiac and arterial lesion. For homeopathic 2x is also used, 2x is also used. So this is very important medicine for the cases of the medicine of these drugs in so many conditions. If we see in case of the Dr. Pathak, so in case of the Pathak, we'll find it that in case of Pathak, okay, this is too much. Let it